Hi everyone, I am back to do the 5th picture on this sweet little page from Small Victories by Johanna Basford. We have a selection of different designs here. There are 3 or 4 that look a little bit like, well, tall thin. I'm not really sure actually what they look like. We have a couple of cute little bumblebees and these round florals as well. What I thought I might do is do these ones sort of similarly and then maybe do a mix of colours on those just for something a little bit different. I thought maybe I would start with my blues and do these long ones in blue. That's my plan. So I'm going to grab one. These are my Derwent Chromaflows. This is the light blue. And I think I'll do both end ones in light blue. I'm going to start over here actually. And I'm going to try and make them a little bit darker at the base and lighter up towards the top of the petal, I guess. I guess that's what it is. And just work through the whole thing like that. So trying to have a bit of a contrast between the bottom and the top. I do this a lot with petals, as you all know if you watch me a lot. And I find it can add a little of a 3-dimensional feel and just makes it look a little different rather than just blocking the colour in, which is perfectly acceptable as well if that's what you're comfortable with. You know, it's not easy to make some areas darker and some lighter, particularly in such a small space as this. So it's always worth remembering the colouring is about relaxation, it's about fun, it's not a competition, and so doing what you feel comfortable with, what feels good for you, is really important. And I think one of the most important things is that we have to remember that it's about the process, not always about the finished piece. If you, I'm going to do this very end one, if you aren't happy with your finished piece, there's a few approaches. Firstly, you can just remember what you learned from it and apply that next time and improve. You need to think about whether you had fun while you were colouring it. Hopefully you did. And so think that that made it worthwhile. But also it's worth remembering that no piece is actually, I'm just waiting, I'm going to weight down the other side of the book. That's it. No piece is finished until you say it's finished. So you can go back and rework a piece. I know some people go back to pieces they did years ago once their skills have improved with practice, or they've, you know, learnt new things through videos or books or whatever, and they'll rework a piece to improve it. I don't tend to do that. I've only done that once ever. I usually like to see the older pieces and then think about how I've improved. Also, sometimes I look back at older pieces and think, actually that's really good. What did I do then that I've forgotten? Which I don't do anymore, and that sort of thing. So I use them as a learning experience for me rather than you know, trying to put too much pressure on making it perfect, because although some people's art might look perfect to you, I suspect that most people can find fault in their own work. It's very easy to do that. Denim. I'm going to do this Deanie one. It's so easy to find fault. I remember speaking to someone and saying, oh, you should make YouTube videos, you know. They do something completely different to this. You know, it would be a really good thing to have a go at, be a lot of fun, be something you might be able to make a bit of extra pocket money from, etc., you know. And they said to me, I'm too much of a perfectionist. I could never do it because it would never be good enough for me. And it was a bit of a shame, really. Some of us, some people are perfectionists. This is a blue. And we can all be victim of wanting to do a little more here and there, make it even better. But for me, the videos aren't necessarily, well, they're never about being perfect, because I'm not, and no one is. So I don't even really think about that. But for me, they have dual purpose. It might be teaching you a small technique. It might be giving you the idea of what colour to do a certain thing that you haven't, that you just don't know where to start on, or can't think what colour to do. It might be about showing you different colouring combination or something like that. And I also hope that it's just about a bit of entertainment, a bit of relaxation, a bit of a reminder to sit down and get your pencils out. Don't want to nag, but you know, this is the lilac. We all feel the benefits of colouring, which is why we do it. So remember to do it. It can be easy to let life get in the way. I mean, because making videos means I have to, which is brilliant, because I mean, have to makes it sound like it's a chore. Of course it isn't. But it means that I can't use the thing, oh, I've got this to do and that to do and I haven't got time, because I have to make time for it, which is perfect, because it's always so beneficial to me. I've never used it to deal with, you know, I didn't pick up colouring because I needed a way of escapism, or this is magenta, getting rid of stress or anything like that. A lot of people do have stories where they use it for that, and that's fantastic. It's not my story. My story is just that it seemed fun, and then I wanted to learn more, and I found that certain videos, not all, didn't teach in a way that for me was useful. These were videos that I paid for as well, not free YouTube, Scarlet. Not free YouTube videos. I paid for a course on colouring, and I found it so disappointing that I thought I could do something better than that. There were so many things that I didn't like about it. The fact that the camera was behind the person's shoulder looking down, which is fine, but it was so far away I couldn't see what she was actually doing. So I couldn't see any of the details of what she was doing, only a sort of vague colour. This is amber gold. There was drawing in it when it said it was colouring. A sort of 3/4 of it wasn't colouring, and she used watercolour pencils, which I didn't have. That's not what I wanted to use, and I thought when it said colouring it would be regular pencils. Watercolour pencils in my head is painting, but you know, obviously people have different ideas, and it wasn't very well explained and flame. And I realised that my videos are not perfect, and there are people that are going to want different things to what I do, but I sort of thought if I can do something that I would like, then it might be helpful for other people. And I just started and realised that it was, it seemed to be that people did like it, so it was really, really good, and I was happy. So I just continued. Now you can't get rid of me. Right, my last colour I think is going to be blush pink. Now looking at this, sitting back, looking at my screen or looking at my desk, at the book, it looks like it's missing something. Do you get that when you look at it? Do you feel like it looks like there's a colour missing? It's not balanced, there's something wrong? And I think it's the green. We need green in it, and then it'll balance it. And sometimes if you aren't sure about what's not balancing correctly, it can be a good idea to pop your green in. I know it's the green that's the problem, so I'm going to do that. This is the basil. I'm going to use it for these. I know the green is the problem, but had I got to about here, you know, not these three maybe, and done the rest, and wasn't quite sure which colour was needed to balance it, then I would do the leaves, and then check and see whether it is the green or whether there's something else, because once you put down all these colours you sort of haven't got much left to play with, so it can be worth just stopping and thinking. A lot of you are experienced, you would know that. This is grass green, but sometimes it isn't always that obvious. I find The worst times for me are when I'm tired or distracted and then I can't think what's going on with the picture. Why isn't it working? You know. And I try, these days I don't really colour when I'm tired because I'm just trying to decide on the colour of those flower middles. I'm going to do a brown. I think I use the natural brown. I think it's the shade which is most likely to sort of match all of them. I want to use the same colour in them all because they're the same flower. I'm thinking a lot of flowers, they might have different colour blooms, but the petal, the leaves and the centre would be the same. So that's what I've done. Now we have our little bumblebees. We have got a very light yellow, sun yellow. I think that's going to be too pale. Excuse me, yawning. I'm actually tempted by using this golden sun. It's almost a brownish colour. And I'm looking at bees. I'm going to use it for the very bottom and the one bit in between the wings. In each, they're going to look the same. And then the other bits need to be black. Fortunately, my black's nice and sharp. Oops, there we go. My poor son was just messaging me saying in the lesson, the teacher thinks that if they're just sitting there doing nothing, they are sitting there quietly, they're getting on with the work. And he's really bored because he's done the work and she's not taking the hints that he's finished. This is platinum. So he says he's taken to picking up his phone when he's finished his work to try to show her that he's ready for the next bit. See if it's see if it works as a strategy. Okay, so that's the main part done. I'm going to grab a white pen and do a few dots with my Jelly Roll 8. Let's have a look. I think these are quite difficult to think of where to put the dots. Maybe just at the bottom of each one where the pencil is the darkest. I don't know if it really even needs it. But there's so many of them that I feel like I want to do something with them. So there you go. I just do the same with all of those. In fact, I won't do that one until the end, the one on the far right, because it'll smudge. I'm very good at smudging gel pen. I think I've said before, it's my sort of party trick. My special skill. It's an odd thing, party trick, isn't it? Surely most people don't have some sort of weird thing that they can do. Maybe they do. I don't. I mean, I can sing, but that's it. But I don't sing in public. That's why I like watching like The Masked Singer, because some of the people aren't trained singers. They're so brave singing especially being celebrities, so they've sort of got a reputation, unlike me. But I think I admire them. Right, I'm just looking. I don't think I'm going to add anything to the bees. I'm quite happy. You could. Sometimes I put a little bit glitter on their wings just to make them look a little bit special, but so little that I think I might miss. It might just look like a bit splodgy. So I'm not going to. Also, there's no glitter anywhere else. So again, that might look a little bit strange. So I'm going to finish there. And we've got one more left for tomorrow, which is good. But thank you for watching. Please do like, and if you want to, comment and subscribe. Yes, have a super day and happy colouring.